Love and betrayal. After the Battle of Philippi, the Roman world was split into two. Octavian took control of the West. Mark Antony ruled the rich eastern provinces. But what began as a political alliance soon turned into one of the most famous love stories in history, and one of the greatest betrayals Rome had ever witnessed. While in Asia Minor, Antony received an invitation. The Queen of Egypt, Cleopatra, wished to meet him. He thought it would be a routine diplomatic visit, but he was wrong. Cleopatra arrived not like a queen, but like a goddess. Her ship was plated with gold, its sails shimmering silver in the sun. Perfume filled the air. She appeared dressed as Aphrodite, the goddess of love herself. Antony was captivated, and that fascination soon turned into deep, uncontrollable love. Cleopatra was more than beautiful. She was brilliant. She knew that through Antony she could secure Egypt's independence and maybe even restore the glory of her ancestors. Together, they became inseparable, lovers and political partners. But in Rome, Octavian watched with growing anger. He saw Antony slipping deeper under Cleopatra's spell. And when Antony divorced his Roman wife, who was Octavian's own sister, it became personal. Octavian saw his chance. He began spreading a story that Antony had betrayed Rome for a foreign queen. He planned to move the capital from Rome to Alexandria, and that Cleopatra would soon call herself Queen of the Romans. The propaganda worked. The Roman people were furious. They saw Antony not as a hero, but as a traitor. Meanwhile, Antony and Cleopatra made a shocking announcement. They would rule the East together. They even declared their children rulers of different kingdoms. To Rome, it was the final insult. The Senate declared war, but officially not against Antony, against Egypt. In 31 BC, the two great forces met at Actium, off the coast of Greece. Antony's fleet was larger, but Octavian's commander, Agrippa, was a naval genius. As the battle raged, something unthinkable happened. Cleopatra suddenly fled the battlefield with her 60 ships. Antony, blinded by love, followed her, leaving his army leaderless. That single moment changed everything. Antony's forces surrendered. The dream of an Eastern empire collapsed. The next year, Octavian invaded Egypt. In Alexandria, Antony heard a false rumor that Cleopatra was dead. Heartbroken, he took his own life with his sword. But she was still alive. As Antony lay dying, the two lovers saw each other one last time. Soon after, Cleopatra was captured. She knew what awaited her: humiliation in Octavian's victory parade in Rome. A queen turned into a trophy. One day, a peasant brought her a basket of figs. Hidden inside was a deadly asp, a venomous snake. Cleopatra pressed it to her arm and ended her life as the last pharaoh of Egypt. With Antony and Cleopatra gone, Octavian stood alone. Rome was his, entirely. But the Romans despised kings and emperors. So Octavian took power differently. He claimed he was restoring the Republic, but in truth, he became its first emperor. He took a new name, Augustus, and with him began a new age, the Roman Empire. It all began with love, but love turned to ambition, ambition to betrayal, and betrayal of the birth of an empire.